Hey homeschool friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video. And so in today's video, I'm really picking up where I left off last week when I was going through all of my homeschool stuff. So today's Get It Done With Me video is focusing more on setting up for next year. So last week, I cleaned out everything. I got it all taken out. I moved things downstairs. I threw away a bunch of stuff. I have a big pile of curriculum to sell. It was great. It felt very good. This week, I'm planning on putting kind of all the new curriculum in place. I'm planning on setting up things. I'm setting up some new stations. Mind you, there's that big blue hutch that I was talking about last year. So I'm setting up new stations to work for some plans that I have for next year. But I'm gonna start with showing you the footage from yesterday, day before. Recently, when I was going through my bookshelf and a IKEA 8-plex, which I have put up into the schoolroom now, which fits perfectly. And I've kind of shifted some things. So I've had a number of questions on a lot of my recent videos, my Sonlight videos, as to how I organize all of this stuff. You will find out in today's video. So watch for that because I do a lot of organizing on the bookshelves. My plan is to have the bookshelves mostly be books. Last year I kind of had it a mixture of curriculum and books. I want it all to be books, which is why I brought that 8-plex and put it right next to it, which is where I'm going to keep teachers' manuals as well as all the kids' stuff, as well as you'll see manipulatives and things. So let's just kind of roll into the footage. All right, you can see that I am taking a ton of stuff off of the bookshelf here. I had all the old curriculum. I have a lot of the levels of Sonlight that we currently own. So I currently have HBLK and HBLC for this upcoming year, but I also do have HBLB from last year and the preschool years, both of the preschool years, as well as the American history, which is now called HBLA. So I have all of those and I want them all on the shelves. And so I was pulling things off and then I decided I wanted to bring all of my new curriculum up from downstairs because I was storing it kind of away from my kids. So I brought it up in piles and I decided how best to put it into these little cubbies. And I have these magazine holders, which I labeled with my kids' names. I labeled with like my name, like teacher supplies on certain ones. So I have given each of my big kids cubbies. Like my oldest, who's 9.5, gets the top one. And then my 8-year-old is the second one down. And then my twins are kind of sharing that third one down, which has a lot of those Abeka workbooks, which I showed in all of my curriculum haul videos. And so you can see I have put most of their stuff in there. Now, it's not all the stuff that they themselves are working with. Like I have their daily work binders tucked right beside the magazine holder, but the magazine holder really holds the workbooks that I tear the sheets out of and then hole punch and stick into their daily work binder. So it's just a really good place for me to organize things. And then you can also see I was trying to organize their readers. Their Sonlight readers didn't quite fit in their cubbies, so I just put it on the shelf right next to it in little baskets. And I feel like that works really pretty well because those are still books, but they're kind of set apart in a way that is hopefully going to be useful for my kids. And then I was trying to put them in the order in which they will read them this year. So I was looking through the instructor guides to do that. Hey guys, so step one of the reset is all done. I have put most everything away. I have books over here, like I was saying. I really wanted my bookshelves to be mostly books, to also be able to handle kind of 2 shelves of Sonlight, and as we grow into Sonlight, or I don't know, other lit programs if I for some reason decide to switch, but I want this to be mostly books. And so that's what made the decision to bring in this and start putting all of my kids' work on there, which I feel like is gonna be good because one, it'll give them a little bit more, not independence, but I guess responsibility for their own stuff. And so they can put them back in their labeled little cubbies with all their stuff. I mean, it's kind of intermixed with some of the workbooks that I will be ripping out and putting into their working binders, kind of like I did last year, but that's just fine. It's all still right here. There still needs to be some work done. I'm still working on all of this stuff, and so that's the Abeka stuff. That's a very odd angle. That's the Abeka stuff that's gonna go in one of these bins. So I basically have 2 clear bins of Abeka manipulatives, and then down here is like Logic of English plus Abeka manipulative. So lots of flashcards, lots of stuff. Because both programs have a lot of stuff, but I wanted it to kind of be contained. And I like that. I like that it's a little bit put away. I like that I know just where it is. And so, yes, that's step one of getting myself set up for the homeschool year. Let me show you what else I have. because that's what's coming over the next couple days, is I'm actually really excited about it. It's not too bad. Okay, so a lot of the stuff that I pulled from my homeschool room, right here, ended up over here because it's two different groupings of things. Well, kind of. It's art supplies. A lot of just the everyday kind of scissors and glue and tape and all that is sitting out here, as well as nature stuff, as well as like special art programs. Like we have a lot of artistic pursuits. I'm also just gonna put any of our other art supplies, like all our crafty stuff like googly eyes and paint and things like that, all over here. So let me take you where I'm going, because that's gonna be the plan for these upcoming segments that I'm gonna talk you through. But really every year I have to reset, because every year I want to use the space differently. I have different kids. I have new ideas. Like I want to embrace more of that like fun and magic and all of those things, and just accessibility to the creativity for my kids. It's been a little bit more kind of locked down, but my twins are going to be 5.5 come school year. So they're old enough. Granted, they're going to make messes, and I think I'm working on myself to handle that a bit better. So I'll show you what my plan is, because I'm pretty excited. Okay, so I'm moving you over here. Sorry for the odd angle, but what I did, so you can see back over there, schoolroom, kitchen. This is our living room. Nope, this is our dining room. And I've stored art supplies over here in the past, kind of in the corners tucked away. It doesn't work very well, to be honest. And so when I was rearranging in the last video, when I was cleaning everything out, I took this. It's my blue cabinet. I love this blue cabinet. I love this blue cabinet. I was gonna sell it, and I was kind of sad about that. And then I decided, you know what? It doesn't look too bad here. Let me give you a little tour. Or at least I don't think it looks too bad. So that's our front door into our living room, TV, where the piano is, where all my books are. And then you walk forward from the front door into the dining room area. And now I'm going to have this hutch cabinet be right here. I think it looks okay. I don't think it blocks the way too much, and it's empty. It's empty, you guys. So the idea is I could fill it with art supplies. I could put stuff up here and maybe have a little bit of like a little strewing, like the idea of bringing some of my reference books from over there over here, because my kids never get into them because they're too high up on the shelves. And they occasionally will, but it could be really fun to have maybe just like some special things put out here, because I have like random science manipulatives, or like a set of little fossils or a set of little rocks that I could put out that would just be for fun for them to kind of mess with. And then I could put out a couple books, and then they always would have access to kind of everything in the hutch. Or at least that's my thoughts. What about you guys? Do you guys have like a special art creativity nook for your homeschool? Because I have had it in the homeschool room before, but I'm getting too many kids as part of my homeschool that it's a little bit harder for me to keep everything over here. And I kind of want the split. I kind of want the split where we can keep our school stuff over here. And I mean, we can pull it out and use it at the table and everything like that, but we can keep it here. And then we can kind of keep creativity over there. I don't know. Anyway, this is actually where I was talking, my big shelf of all my reference books, which I love. I love all these books, but my kids never get into these because it's just too out of the way. And so anyway, I'm going to wrap this part up, and the next time I'll be back, hopefully I will be in the process of dealing with all of this. So I hope you're enjoying coming along with me, a little behind the scenes for my summer, how I process. This is just really how all of my day in the life videos go. It's pretty much how I process. I share that. So I hope you like it, and I'll see you again as I get to all this stuff. Okay, so you can see I have gotten to all of this stuff now, and I have put a lot of it in the drawers and different things. It was a big colossal mess on the table as well as in these white cabinets, and I was able to pull them all out and find good spots for them in the blue hutch. And this is really going to be my art creativity area, and I'm so excited about it. I feel like it'll just give my kids the access to it. And but you can see it just turned out really beautifully. I have a lot of good organization in here, and now everything has a place. And I really wanted that for my kids, so I could be like, well, you know where the glue sticks go. Go put them away. So I'm hoping that will be useful for my kids. And now you can see I moved over to this white cabinet, and I need to clean it out because this is going to be my kind of magical enchantment place. Very Brave Writer, right? I want to put some poetry tea time stuff in there, some candles. And so the last thing I am doing is I am setting up the schoolroom, and I needed my husband's help with that. And so he got the drill out, and he was very helpful to kind of take down some things. We had a little TV there he took down, and he's putting up a little shelf above my desk, which is great because I want to put up some of my homeschool books as well as an inspirational picture. And so you can see I also put up some pictures above the desks. That's going to be the computer station I was telling you about. There's my bookshelves that are all done. I had my husband secure this 8-plex so that my kids who do climb won't climb anymore. We have my little calendar set up for the twins, my desk with a nice little plant right by our patio, and then that is the finished product for my shelf, and I just really love it. And then the corner, I ended up putting our whiteboard as well as a feelings chart, which I found that last week when I was downstairs cleaning out the storage area. And I'm really excited to bring that in, to just have a place that the kids can talk about their feelings with little beanbags and things like that. So that's a little bit of an update, a sneak peek, if you will, into our homeschool space. I will be doing a room tour here probably sometime in August, because I'm sure I'll kind of fine tune everything and get it all kind of finished up. And then I can show you where I put everything. I'm trying to keep it fairly simple. I'm trying to keep what is in the homeschool room to be only the things that we need for this year, as well as books, because I just can't resist chapter books and things like that. But that's really for what we need, because I don't want that space to feel overwhelming since it's in a main area of our house, and then also having set up all the art stuff, but they're all tucked away and things like that. So I'm really happy with how this week kind of finished out, how I was able to bring up all the stuff I needed for next year, kind of get it organized, get it in its right place. And that will lead me into kind of next week, which is the last week I think I need for prepping for next year. And what I'm gonna do next week is to go through my resources and kind of mentally prep myself, as well as like set up my planner and set up my schedule and think about my like individual kids and do some more kind of like introspective work. And so I'm gonna try and take you along with me on that, and we'll see how that works. But that's my goal for kind of my last week of getting ready. So I hope again that this has been useful and fun, and that you guys can be inspired to do this in your homeschool spaces. Even if you don't have a homeschool room, you have spaces that need re-upping for next year. So I hope you all are having a fantastic summer, and I will see you next week for the final installment of this kind of Get It Done With Me series. So that's what I have. So if you liked it, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, but otherwise I'll see you in next week's video. All right, guys, take care. Bye.